Hi, I'm Cllr Mariam Khan, Councillor for the Allen Rock Ward in Birmingham and Cabinet Member for Health and Social Care at Birmingham City Council. Earlier this week, Birmingham City Council declared a major incident in response to the bin strikes and the industrial action that the city has been facing. And this basically means that there's a multi-agency approach that has now been implemented across the city, working alongside West Midlands Fire Service and West Midlands Police to try to ensure that the issues that we're seeing on the streets, where there has been weeks of uncollected rubbish and piles of people's household waste out on the streets, does not turn into a public health crisis. The whole reason why we've implemented this major incident is in order for us to prevent that from happening, so that the health issues that can be associated to having weeks worth of rubbish out on the streets does not take place, and actually the people of Birmingham and people across the city do not suffer any longer than they actually have to. This basically also means that there's been a contingency plan that has been implemented. So as of next week, we are going to have an additional 35 crews plus 35 wagons that will be out on the streets as part of the street cleansing teams, clearing up the big mountains and the big piles of rubbish that have appeared in certain parts of the city. So that's one aspect of it. But aside from that, it also means that we've got some support from West Midlands Police at the picket lines, where the union members, Unite Union members who are on strike, are picketing and actually have been stopping the wagons from leaving the depots. That's basically been the reason why we've had such a delay in collection from households, where we've had previously one wagon an hour being able to leave the depots. We've now, as of Friday, 8 o'clock in the morning, we've been able to have over 100 wagons leaving the depots. This just basically means that those street crews who are working on Fridays have been able to go out to households. We're looking to see the same thing happening again over the weekend, on Saturday and on Sunday, and hopefully into the rest of the week as well. So as part of that, we're hoping that the sites in the streets are going to improve, but also as a message in terms of the unions, the message and the offer from the council still remains that we encourage them to come onto the table, so that we can actually resolve this sooner rather than later, and that the people of Birmingham can start to see a waste transformation programme that was originally in plan for this year actually begin to be implemented once we start to work together to get the streets cleaned up and give residents what they deserve. I'd like to advise residents of my ward in Allen Rock and residents across the city ways in which that they can help the situation and how to dispose of their waste responsibly. There's a number of different options, and one of which includes being able to book a visit to the tip online. It's a really simple form that you need to fill in. Slots do become available regularly, and all you need to do is just book it. As long as you're a resident of Birmingham, you can book that slot, take it over to your local depot, whether that's Tyseley, Castle Bromwich, or Perry Bar. You can take your waste from your house in your cars and get rid of it in that way. The other option is the council's expanded the opening and closing times for the tips during this period to help people, especially if if it's difficult during working hours. The other thing that you can do is attend one of the mobile household waste centres, which moves around in different parts of the city, where you are able to take your waste and dispose of it in that way as well. Anyone who has a car, the advice is to please use that service, and thank you to everybody who has been patient with us. If you do have a collection due on whichever day is your normal collection, since we've had the major incident declared, we are seeing that the trucks and the wagons are able to leave the depots. So the advice also is to just leave your waste, leave your bins presented at the end of your property where you normally would get them collected from. And the other advice is to please stop the dumping of your waste in, outside on the end of your streets or on other roads. That is illegal. It is still fly tipping, and we understand that it's difficult in times like this. But we're doing what we can to try and resolve the strike and dealing with the street cleansing crews who are coming around to pick this up. But it's not a sustainable approach to continue to have that method. We're now getting the wagons out, and we're hoping that this will start to see a shift in the collection rate. But just the advice is that there are other ways to dispose of your waste responsibly, either through the mobile household waste centres or through booking a slot at your local tips.